Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast, episode 781. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Ray. What's up, Ray?
These are the days.
All right, guys. So, basically, I went through a blizzard, 31 inches. So people were wondering what's going on. I was actually doing my 12th book, also getting over from having bronchitis and losing my voice back and getting my voice back and losing it again. So also I had decided to do an update on the computer with the Adobe and a few different things. And what happened was it had screwed up my camera. So the other night we tried to do a podcast and failed because my camera was out and the colors are still off, if you can tell. Trying to get it back to the way it was. The audio was off too. It was a mess. So the computer's still a little timey-wimey messed up. So bear with me. But I've been dying to do podcasts. Today I had purchased the 50th anniversary, the Day of the Doctor soundtrack that they had, which you can see here. Okay, really cool. And you know, it has also included Time of the Doctor stuff. Basically, the reason why I bought this is because I like to buy the CDs. I know people don't really play CDs anymore. What I do is I upload it to my iTunes, and I always have it. I always have a backup copy if something goes wrong with the computer and iTunes or whatever. So, like, I like having it. I know it was like a piece of change, but and it's nice to listen to this stuff. You know, I can put it on my phone and stuff like that. On the bus, I can listen to the 50th anniversary and talk to the doctor and all that stuff. So, again, I got this today at BN, Barnes Noble. And also, I went to check on the book sales for my 10th book from stream. So, there's two reasons why I went this time in New York City. Now, it's so weird because it was freezing, then it was 31 inches of snow. Now it's like warmer. It's kind of weird, the temperature. Next week it's supposed to be in the 50s, which makes no sense. All the snow is probably going to melt if it stays like in the 40s, getting to the 50s, which is fantastic. So today was just a rough, commute for me to go to work. But let's stick with Doctor Who stuff. So again, I broke the news before I got sick and before all the stuff about Moffat quitting after Series 10, only being a Christmas special this year. Then them doing, the Moffat's 12 episodes for 2017, and then Chris Chibnall taking over as showrunner. There was an article that came out today, right, which also has me as some type of concern. And that is, it says here that there's a rumor. Now, again, I don't want to believe this because I want what I want. What a lot of people like is we love Peter Capaldi. Okay, of course we don't have say over, and I know we don't have say. Okay, I know the BBC decides that the showrunner. I would like Capaldi to stay, but this rumor here, coming from the Mirror, which half the stuff that has on there is not true anyway, says that Capaldi's leaving after Series 10. Says here BBC bosses expect Peter Capaldi to leave Doctor Who after the next series when writer Stephen Moffat also steps down. The 57-year-old's tenure as a 12th Doctor is likely to end in 2017. What's up, Chris?
Hello, everybody.
All right. So, Chris, I know you heard the news about Moffat.
Yeah.
And, now we're getting a rumor today from the Mirror that Capaldi, the rumor is that he's going to step down when Moffat leaves and leave. They said that, Chris, of course, the new showrunner, he may want to have his own doctor. The BBC may want a complete change. So really, there's a whole bunch of factors. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Capaldi's done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that after See, I don't know if he's gonna be done with this because I hear we're getting a Christmas special this year.
We are going to have him for the Christmas
Yeah.
special. We're going to have him for Series 10.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that would be his third season. I'd like to see him stay on past that. To tell you the truth, if there's a way that they could convince him to stay on, because I really think that his Doctor could do well with a new showrunner.
Yeah.
If the new showrunner can really help. I think that a new showrunner could really help that Doctor out, this Doctor out, I should say. Not that he's been bad, but
No.
I think that at some points his writing has been a little inconsistent.
Right.
So I think that if they had a more consistent, like a showrunner who kind of takes the reins and says, this is what this Doctor is going to do, this is what I want from the writers, because you got to remember too, with a new showrunner, the rules for the writing will change.
Yes, they will.
So, or maybe they might change. Who knows? He could come in and say we're going to do everything Moffat did. Who knows?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think that Capaldi's probably going to leave shortly after Moffat leaves, and we'll get a new Doctor, Doctor number 13.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, maybe Chris Chibnall wants to have his own Doctor.
Yeah.
He has that right. I mean, nothing against Capaldi. I mean, most of the Doctors leave after 3 seasons anyway, or like around that time. So it's only natural, Here's the thing nobody's really thinking about. There is a there's a technicality, and that is that we keep saying Moffat leaving, Moffat leaving, Moffat leaving. He's not Russell T Davies. He does love Doctor Who. He may stay on to write an episode or 2, regardless of not being the showrunner anymore. What about that possibility?
I think that he definitely should do that.
Right.
Because I think really any problems that I've had with what he's done have been just him being the showrunner. I think him having so much control over it. But if he's just in charge of a couple episodes, I think he could really hit it on the head. Like he used to.
I think he should test his ability under someone else to see how good it is.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, he saved that Zygon 2-part this past season, didn't he?
That's what I was thinking of too. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of, and a few other things too. But that's the main thing. Yeah.
Because that was going downhill, and then we thought the second part was going to be crap, and then he stepped in, didn't he?
Yes, and it became a whole different ballgame. Now, another thing is, with a new showrunner, they could go to Moffat and say, "Hey, Moffat, aren't we building up this mystery about him finding Gallifrey? You can't just explain it with Clara, So like, maybe there's checks and balances. They could say, "Hey, wouldn't it be better if?" And he doesn't do something stupid like plot holes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what they could do with a new showrunner maybe is I don't know how this new showrunner is going to be. I don't know his personal take on Doctor Who or what's been done, but I think that if he comes in there and says, there's a few things that I want to answer, maybe they'll fix some things that we didn't necessarily enjoy. By we, I mean the whole, not just us. I mean like the whole fan base. Some things that, like, the TARDIS choosing him, the Doctor, becoming the Doctor, not because Clara told him to, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's stupid, that stuff. That's stupid.
Danny Pink's thing, maybe, too.
What?
Yeah, and I was also thinking this...
Oh, what were you saying? Wait, Chris, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, I finished what I was saying. I was just saying maybe they'll answer the whole Danny Pink conundrum with Orson Pink and stuff like that, Yeah,
because Moffat had probably alluded to the fact that he probably screwed up, so it was like, yeah. Go ahead, Ray. Ray? No. All
2 seconds.
Okay. I want to show you, Chris. Look what I got at Barnes & Noble.
Oh, is that the soundtrack?
Yeah, I got the soundtrack to
cool.
the 50th. And it also has Tom and the Doctor on there, so...
Oh, that's cool.
This is pretty damn cool.
I was gonna say that we might see that might actually swing Capaldi to stay one more season if Moffat stays on doing a part-time thing, because he was upset that they were changing.
Stay on as a writer, not as a showrunner.
I know, but he might stay on just for one more season. See how it is.
As a writer of a couple episodes.
I know, but I'm just saying. Capaldi might say on a new show on and see how it is under him first, then make up his mind after that.
Right. Okay.
Because you might be thinking, if I stay for one more season, it might be a better season. Then I can work out what to do after that.
Right. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly, if I was going to be the showrunner, and this is just me personally, if I was going in there with a doctor still that, like, let's say Capaldi, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would ask him to stay on.
Yeah.
So this way I could kind of get my feet wet with the show,
Right.
like running the show, and then later on bring in my new doctor, introduce a new doctor. So this way, like, the pressure would be less than getting into the show. Now a new doctor, I got to develop this doctor, I've got to do all this stuff. Whereas if I have an established doctor, I can kind of put my spin on it, see how people react to it, and then, okay, now that I'm ready for this new doctor, kind of like how we always get with the new doctor. Like the first season is kind of like, all right, how are they going to be? And then their second season, it's like, we know what they're doing. So
and would be cool, like if Capaldi stays with Chibnall, maybe Capaldi enjoys himself so much more, and so does Chibnall, that like he decides to stay, and Chibnall wants him to stay too.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll even, like, here's the thing, and I really hope too that if Moffat doesn't get to explain things, that Chibnall just goes back and explain things.
Sure.
And not even have a hindrance of, I can't bring Clara back, I can't bring Martha back, I can't bring Susan back. Forget, that's Moffat's thing, that he doesn't like to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? The Doctor should go backwards, because the Doctor goes forwards and backwards through time and space, and the hell with it. Like, what's the difference?
Right.
Like, he could go back and hang out with, like, Sarah Jane when she's young or something. I mean, it's, like, stupid. They get, like, technically, like, he goes back and hangs out with, like, the Seventh Doctor knew when the Brigadier dies. I mean, like, there's no set thing that he cannot bring companions back. That was a Moffat thing. With that over, Chibnall could bring back Susan. So that's what I really want. I mean, I don't want this, you can't do this and you can't do that. And with Chibnall,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe.
With Chibnall, there might be a whole bunch of different rules of time, too, like the classic series. Yeah, Chris.
No, I'm interested to see, like, because you know how with Russell T. Davis, right, his seasons had a different aura and a different tone to the show than Moffat's do. Right. What I'm mostly interested in to see is, like, or what I'm mostly interested in seeing, I should say, I can't speak tonight, is how the aura and the tone of the show change with this new showrunner.
Yeah.
Is it going to get darker? Is it going to get lighter? Is it going to stay the same? Stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, this was going to be a quick one because I do want to get into other things, and then I got to go to bed. So we're going to do an Everything Show next, guys. Could you hang around, Chris, for a few minutes?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Take care. Bye for now.